And welcome back. We're here for round 1, game 2, and we're hoping that this particular round will be far more exciting than the previous round, and Bob will be able to cast spells other than looking at the opponent's hand.
We are definitely hoping for that, for Bob's sake and the viewers' sake, really, and for our sake.
Because it might give us something to talk about other than what Bob can't cast.
Okay, well, we're starting with the Gitaxian Probe. There's a lot of that going on in quite a few modern matchups where there's Gitaxian Probe you, I'll Inquisition you, and...
but I think we saw a couple damnations in Bob's hand that I think is secure a Tribelder as well, so as long as he gets that green mana, he hopefully will be able to come out with that. There we go. And that classy pass the turn from Bob.
I wonder if he's been just working on that for the moment that he's on camera.
A bit of practice in the mirror, you reckon?
Yeah. He's asking his mates around for a play test. I just want to test my motion.
The duress from Joseph there taking the damnation. Now we know Bob's also got a Solemn in the hand. Now, was it a mistake by Bob not to get the land at the end of his turn?
Well, if he wanted to play the Solemn, I'd say, but he could have been... I'm trying to think. Actually, if Joseph only has the 1 mana untapped, there's only a very small amount of counter magic that he can have, so... I think he wants to advance his game plan and not rely on racing with a secure Tribelder.
I would have possibly sacked it at the end of Joseph's turn, especially if I had that 4th land in hand.
Yeah.
And then I would have been able to play the Solemn now, ramping myself up to 5 relatively quickly, and going from there.
I guess it really depends on if you've got the land. If you don't have the land in hand, then it might be better to keep your creature on the battlefield.
And the percentages of land in your deck is marginally higher. But we certainly know that he has the Solemn, he has his 3rd land, he can get the 4th with the Tribelder now. And so that definitely would have been a sack from me at that point in time.
Well, he's got his opponent on a 17-turn clock, so...
With Shaman beatdowns. And because that 4 mana into Solemn gets you up to 5, which allows you to cast Veraska, Liliana, the 2-point Death Cloud even here. Wouldn't go astray. And as we can see, Bob's stalling out on that 4th land, and it's really starting to hurt him.
I actually don't hate attacking the Jace in this situation. Obviously, a few turns ago you probably should have got that extra land, but I don't hate, because it means that Joseph ticked up Jace, so they both drew a card.
Unfortunately, Joseph isn't really showing his hand too much, so... What do we have there?
Oh, is that an Invisible Stalker? I think that might be an Invisible Stalker. No, it can't be, can it?
Well, we've got a Wayfarer's Bauble from Bob, again looking to ramp up into more mana. The whole idea of this Deathcloud deck is to get 3 land ahead of your opponent, and to Deathcloud for basically as much as you possibly can, leaving you with 3 land and leaving them with nothing. No cards in hand, hopefully no creatures or anything like that. Is it an Invisible Stalker?
It's hard to tell. I'm trying to look at the art and compare it with the picture I have here. I don't know.
Hopefully next year we'll be able to bring you the top-down view rather than...
the side-on view. We can get a better view. Especially in Modern, where there's so many different cards, that it is a bit harder to recognise some if we haven't seen it as often lately.
How many sets does Modern go back now?
I don't want to give you a number, but it does go back to Mirrodin.
Bit of a
Not Scars of Mirrodin, Mirrodin.
Bit of a loaded question there. Try and get you in trouble, Lewis. I don't think it is an invisible stalker.
Yeah.
The picture doesn't look
The art
correct.
looks a bit different, yeah. But I can't figure out what it is based upon looking at it.
Alright, so Bob's finally got these 4 mana here. Surely he's got to come out with some Solemns. No, a Corsair.
A Corsair.
And is that a Condescend?
Yep, it's a Cognizant.
So he's going to scry here. In Bob's defence, he only received this deck about 5 minutes before the Modern tournament started, and being game 1, round 1,
Yeah.
it was probably maybe a little unfair to put him on camera with a complicated deck that he doesn't know much about. He was offered Affinity before the tournament started, but decided to go with Death Cloud.
The Gataxian Probe.
And we're looking at a Primeval Titan, 2 Damnations, a Death Cloud, and 2 Solemns. So certainly a lot of card advantage there.
That is a pretty heavy hand.
It's very expensive. And I think he's just trying to bait out some counterspells with this bauble here. Ramping up to 5. The problem Bob's got here with waiting with the Solemns and so on is he's now so far behind with the land advantage that Death Cloud tries to get.
Yeah, I think you're going to be advancing your game plan as quickly as possible.
The other thing the Wayfarer's Bauble does allow you to do, I think, is get... no, it just searches for a basic land. It doesn't search for the Bezoju.
Okay, I've just worked out what that card is, right there. And I should have worked it out last game. That's a Zombie Infestation. It's an enchantment for 2, and discard 2 cards, you get a 2/2 zombie token. Now, I am actually kind of excited to see this, see this card being played in Modern.
Discard 2 cards.
Put a
To a 2/2 black zombie creature into the battlefield.
It's a nice use of Jace Balaran, and I reckon is that the same blue creature from before, or is that a different one? No, that's a different one. So I reckon Joseph's just playing a lot of card advantage, so that he can turn into zombies. He's got white in his deck, so he could even be playing Sphinx's Revelation.
And I think we're getting a little bit of help from having a judge question from someone here at Friday Night Magic. Because I'm not sure of the card that was just cast. However, Joseph's certainly trying to extend his advantage that he's got here over on Bob with what he's doing.
I believe that exiled card there is an Burial Rites.
I'm discarding 6 cards to the Zombie Infestation.
I kind of want to have a look at his deck. I want to, next time there's a Modern, I want to go over to him and say, can I look at your deck? And give it a bit of a play, because I'm liking what he's doing.
And Bob's tried to come out with the Damnation to get rid of 4 zombies. 4 zombies, they're 2/2 zombies. that makes 8 damage a turn. It's still a 3-turn clock. However, Joseph can turn it into a 2-turn clock by discarding 2 more cards at any point in time, because you can do that as an instant.
Yep.
So you'd be looking to do that at the end of Bob's turn and turn it into a 2-turn clock, presumably. Bob has the strangest hand movements ever known to man on camera. However, I can only presume that he's gone into the tank here and is trying to work out if there's some way out of this particular game for him. Looks like Joseph's got about 5 cards in hand, so he could potentially discard 4 of them, putting the damage up to 16. But he decides not to, sticks with the 8 damage for the turn. Plus still whatever that blue creature is.
I'm looking it up now. I think
that looks a lot better.
I think it's a Jin-Gitaxias Core Ogre. I think I've starting to figure out what Joseph's deck is, and the more I'm figuring it out, I'm liking it.
So the Jin-Gitaxias allows you to draw 7 cards at the beginning of your end step.
Yep, and the opponent's hand size is reduced by 7. If that is the card that I... Yeah, the art looks the same.
Because Bob's had to discard his entire hand, which Jin says that he has to do. And unless Bob top decks, yes, another Death Cloud, and I think there's 2 already in his graveyard, the deck does play 4. I think it's all over for Bob here. So he goes from 18 down to 4. 14-point life hit. Here's slam it down for us, Bob. No, it was a Primeval Titan, and that's pretty much game over. Bob enters the scoop phase.
I've got to say I'm a fan of Joseph's deck.
If anyone